Hello everybody and welcome to the bus stops located outside of Plymouth railway station. Now in this video I'm going to try and ride on a few, but not very many, of the buses that have been cascaded down from other parts of the UK down here to Plymouth to try and help out with the bus shortage, as a lot of the Plymouth vehicles have been allocated down south to Cornwall as First Bus have recently departed that area. Anyway, here I am heading into Plymouth city centre on Go Ahead 1268, which, although it is in service with Plymouth City Bus at the moment, used to be in service with Blue Star in Southampton, and therefore wears the Blue Star livery. Before that though, it did also used to operate with National Express West Midlands around Birmingham. Here I am taking this amazing ADL Enviro 400 into Plymouth city centre. As I arrive into Plymouth city centre, we can see one of the few Scania omnideckers still left in service down here, as well as a second-hand ADL Enviro 400 which has been brought in from London. I'll be going on a similar bus to that one later on in the video. As you can see, they were doing some works in the city centre, and to be honest, it looks like a complete demolition site. It looks like there's been a war going on or something. Anyway, here I am arriving just around the corner from the city centre on Union Street. After rushing through the city centre to get to Royal Parade, as I didn't even expect to get on that last bus, here I am now getting on Go Ahead 6901. This is the only Volvo B70L Rotoclipse Gemini that has transferred down to Plymouth due to the bus shortage down here. I found this to be quite an interesting vehicle, and as much as I liked it, it was a shame it wasn't hoovering, at least for the time being. This is on the 16 service, and I'll be taking it about 15 minutes up the road to my old house just past Plymouth railway station where I've just come from. This was a pretty good motor and actually sounded quite healthy for its age. This still wore the Go North East livery, though I think it has recently been in service somewhere down in the Go South Coast area. As I leave Plymouth city centre and pass through Derry's Cross, here we can see one of the many 6-spot ADL Enviro 200 in service down here with Plymouth City Bus. I absolutely love these vehicles, and it will be a shame when they get withdrawn. I am arriving at Plymouth railway station once again to pick up some more passengers on the run out to Mile House. After I get off the bus there, this bus will continue on to St Budeaux. Here I am getting off near Mile House. It was quite nice to see the rear doors still in operation, as a lot of these Volvo B70Ls, mainly with other operators though, don't have the rear doors operational anymore, which does mean you have to use the front doors only. Here I am heading back into Plymouth city centre on one of the amazing 6-spot ADL Enviro 200 in service here in Plymouth. There aren't too many of these left, and unfortunately I didn't get that good of a video on this bus, but it was quite nice to see the bus services in Plymouth being well used, considering that their frequencies are definitely not the best.
Oh right, I'm sorry, you said you're still at Arvo. Alright, okay, alright.
Here I am now back in Plymouth city centre. After getting some lunch and getting lost around the Royal Parade, as I wrote down that the 21 and 21A services went from a different stop than what they actually did, I eventually made it just in time to our next bus, which would be an ex-Stagecoach London ADL Enviro 400. This was actually a really nice motor and was better than what I thought it was going to be. However, quite interestingly, just like a few other ex-London E400s that I have been on down in the southwest in particular, the rear door on this bus was actually an ALX 400 rear door, not a standard ADL Enviro 400 rear door, which is quite strange to see. Here I am passing through the Devonport area on my way up to St Budeaux. Here I am arriving into St Budeaux Square, where you can change for an array of bus services, mainly heading into Plymouth city centre, but also across the border into Cornwall, heading towards Saltash and Liskeard. Anyway, there goes that ADL Enviro 400, which interestingly had Transport for Cornwall stickers on instead of Plymouth City bus stickers, heading on the 21A service towards Barn Barton, which I believe is just 2 or 3 stops away. Also located near here are both St Budeaux railway stations, that being St Budeaux Victoria Road and St Budeaux Ferry Road. Here is 6901 arriving back into St Budeaux Square, this time on the 43. Interestingly, since I went on it earlier, it has started hoovering. It was a massive shame that I couldn't get on this bus. Maybe with hindsight I should have. After waiting a couple of minutes at St Budeaux Square, here is my next bus arriving to take me just a couple stops across to West Park. This is one of the many right street deck electroliners now in service with Plymouth City Bus, and this is on the 50 service, which alongside the 51 operates a circular around the city.
That's not the whole road. That's not the whole road. That's the different. That's the most thing to get the shop.
Hi, Jen. Yeah, you alright? You bring her back too.
Here I am arriving at West Park, Ringmore Way, to hopefully change onto the 61 service. I'm joking of course, because the 61 bus broke down minutes or maybe even seconds after leaving the first stop at Transit Way. After confirming with the 51 bus driver that the 61 had broken down, and luckily it was 1268, the Blue Star E400 that we went on earlier, I decided to head back to Plymouth railway station on this right street deck electroliner. Here I am passing through the Mile House area once again on my way towards the railway station in Plymouth. We also passed the Plymouth City Bus Depot, where I saw an array of Volvo B9TL Geminis waiting to enter service, as these will be entering service not long after this video comes out hopefully, or knowing me they would have come out by the time I released this video. And as well as that, I saw some horrible BYD BD11s which have been brought down from London to help out with the bus shortage. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Here I am now back at Plymouth railway station, and I will see you in the next one. And just in case you're wondering, I won't be coming back down to film the Volvo B9TLs, which will be a shame, but I also won't be coming back down to film the BYDs. I personally think they're disgusting things. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!